Infidelity doesn't just break your heart. Research shows the intense rage and betrayal can trigger shocking aggression. A trauma response some call post-infidelity stress disorder. When my world exploded with the discovery, it unleashed a fury I didn't recognize within myself. This is the true, raw story of how that fury found its victim in the loyal dog I loved long before the marriage ever began. Buster. He was my shadow long before my husband entered the picture. Just a goofy, loyal mutt I rescued. We had our routine, our quiet understanding. He was my constant, my furry anchor in a world that sometimes felt unsteady. He saw me through bad dates, job changes, lonely nights. His simple affection felt like the purest form of love I knew. He was part of my identity, my life before us. Then came the marriage. At first, it felt like everything I'd hoped for. Love, commitment, building a future. Buster adjusted, becoming our dog, though his deepest loyalty I always felt remained with me. We settled into a life that looked perfect from the outside. Shared dreams, shared home, shared responsibilities. The promises felt solid, the foundation strong. I poured my heart into the relationship, believing in the exclusivity we agreed upon, the sacred trust between partners. Then the discovery. It wasn't dramatic like in movies. Just a message seen by accident, a thread pulled that unraveled everything. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. My world tilted, shattered. All the trust, the intimacy we'd built felt like a lie. The pain was sharp, constant, an agony that settled deep in my chest. This wasn't just sadness, it was a profound sense of violation. Sleep became a stranger. My nights were filled with nightmares or just staring at the ceiling, my mind racing with intrusive thoughts, replaying conversations, searching for signs I missed. Flashbacks of happy moments now felt tainted, poisoned by the secret he carried. During the day, a constant anxiety hummed beneath my skin. Every time his phone buzzed, my heart would pound. I was hyper-aware, reactive to every little thing. My eating patterns were a mess. Sometimes I couldn't stomach anything, other times I'd eat without tasting. Communication broke down completely. Arguments erupted over nothing, fueled by my hurt and his defensiveness or denial. There was so much resentment building inside me, a bitterness I didn't recognize. I felt abandoned, isolated even when he was in the same room. The grief was overwhelming, like mourning a death, the death of the relationship I thought I had. He was my partner, my supposed safe place, and he had inflicted this devastating wound. Buster seemed to sense the shift. He'd nudge my hand, try to curl up beside me, offering his usual quiet support. But I was lost in my own storm of suffering. His attempts at comfort barely registered through the fog of my pain and insecurity. Sometimes his presence just reminded me of the before, the life that felt stolen, making the anger surge even stronger. The rage. It was unlike anything I'd ever felt. It wasn't just anger, it was a destructive force churning inside me looking for an outlet. I felt powerless against the infidelity, the lies, the emotional affair that felt like such a deep betrayal. My mental health was deteriorating. I was living with this chronic stress, this feeling of being constantly triggered. One evening it happened. He was late again. Excuses that sounded hollow. The house felt thick with unspoken secrets. Buster was just being Buster. Maybe he barked, maybe he got underfoot. It was something small, insignificant. But in that moment, the dam inside me broke. All the hurt, the helplessness, the blinding rage from the infidelity, it needed somewhere to go. And he, Buster, was just there. It wasn't a thought-out action. It was a terrifying, impulsive explosion of the trauma I was drowning in. A moment of shocking aggression I never thought myself capable of. The second it was over, the rage vanished, replaced by cold horror. What had I done? Looking at Buster, seeing the fear and pain in his eyes, my Buster, the guilt was crushing. This wasn't just misconduct, it was a deep violation of the trust he had in me. I had become the source of pain, channeling the agony from my broken marriage onto an innocent creature who only offered loyalty. Getting him to the vet felt like moving through thick mud. The silence in the car was deafening, filled only by his soft whimpers and my overwhelming shame. The vet asked questions I couldn't properly answer without revealing the ugly truth of my emotional breakdown. The consequences of my husband's affair had rippled outwards, causing harm far beyond our broken relationship. Legally, Buster was just property, maybe marital property or a companion animal. A court might assign ownership of in a divorce, considering his well-being. But the ethical weight felt immense. I, who believed in protecting animals, had inflicted suffering. The infidelity hadn't just broken my heart, It had broken something inside me, twisting my pain into something harmful. The marriage is technically still intact, but the foundation is gone. We live in the same house but occupy separate emotional worlds. There's been no real healing, no genuine recovery. The trust is non-existent. How can you rebuild from ashes when the fire was betrayal, and the fallout included such collateral damage? My mental health is a daily struggle. The anxiety persists, the depression lingers, mixed with the heavy weight of guilt over what I did to Buster. He survived physically, but our bond, that simple, pure connection, is scarred. Sometimes he flinches when I move too quickly. That flinch is a constant reminder of the moment my trauma lashed out. This experience leaves so many questions unanswered. Can a relationship truly survive the devastating impact of infidelity, especially when the trauma manifests in such destructive ways? What does real healing look like after such deep attachment injury? And how do we stop the cycle when pain makes us inflict more pain? The research talks about PTSD and brain chemistry, but living it reveals complexities that studies can't fully capture. The path forward is uncertain, clouded by grief, guilt, and the shadow of betrayal. These stories are difficult, but they shed light on the hidden consequences of infidelity. If this story resonated with you, or if you're navigating similar challenges, please like this video and share it. Subscribe for more true stories that explore the complexities of human relationships and the journey towards understanding and healing.